What about touring in Japan? I know you've been there last year, and I just heard this is one of the first times that an artist is back within a year. How is touring different than, say, Europe or in the States when you tour Japan?
Everyone told me that the audience would be a lot different than in the States. I haven't toured in Europe yet, so I can't tell you how that's. Yeah, this will be my first time. They say they're a lot more laid back, and they're very polite, very reserved, and once we got over there, you know, they said don't think that they don't like you if they wait to the end of the show to applaud or to the end of the song. Mm-hmm. And once we got over there and started performing, I mean, I was really excited because they were really enjoying themselves, and a lot of the crew came backstage in the middle of quick change, telling me, you know, we've been on so many tours and we've never seen this before, not even with, you know, other people that they've been on. They said, God, this is amazing, the reception that you're getting, and I thought that was really nice to know that they are enjoying it as much as they did.
Is there as much audience reaction? Is it any different than a U.S. tour?
The States, we're crazy here, the kids. I mean, we're all loud and rowdy acting, which they were loud and having a great time, but they weren't as rowdy. But it was fun. It's just really beautiful there. I really love it in Tokyo. I think it's so pretty.
Now you have an ad out on Japanese TV with an airline company. Yeah. How did that come about, and did you have any hesitation about doing something like that?
Gosh, I remember rehearsing for the tour, and Roger Davies, the manager, he came to me and said that JL, they wanted you to sponsor the Japanese tour, the Japan tour, and so they wanted a commercial, and they had some ideas, and I said, well, you know, I think that's cool as long as I'm able to have my input. And we changed things around the story, the concept of the commercials, and they agreed, and it was a lot of fun. They're great people to work with. They really are. I didn't want to sponsor anything with the American leg, only because, I mean, a lot of companies came to me and said they wanted me to endorse this or that or whatever, and I didn't want to. I felt it would dilute the message in the album, and that's why I didn't. But it's different over in Japan, though. I felt it would be okay. I mean, they don't have the kind of problems we have here. and I thought it would be cool to do it over there.
I don't think a lot of your Japanese fans know that you were on a lot of TV shows when you were younger. How do you feel about that? I'm sure there's some day when you're home and you flip on the TV and you see yourself on The Good Times.
Yeah, I do. It's so funny that now that we're on the road and everything, they're saying before Rhythm Nation, even before Control, there was Good Times, or there was Fame, and starring Janet. And the funniest thing about it is I wasn't even starring in. I was one of the main characters, but it's funny how they're riding off of that.
And there was different strokes too.
Yeah,
there?
Different strokes. A New Kind of Family, Good Times, and Fame. Most of them were fun. One of them I learned a lot from, Fame, and I just get embarrassed when I see it now.
Embarrassed because you're younger? Or
yeah, because I was so
young.
young. Because I was so young. When I did Fame, I was 18. That was what, 5 years ago? Yeah, something like that.
If you'd known you'd be doing what you are today, would you have not done that, or is that something that you would have kept the same, that work?
No, I learned a lot, and it prepared me for this, I feel. So if I were to do it all over again, I wouldn't exclude that. Yeah.
What about 1814?
Yeah, it's making the song Rhythm Nation, you know, it was wishful thinking. We were saying, God, it would be so neat if this could become a national anthem for dancers. And, you know, Jimmy said it as well. You know, it was just a wishful thinking type of thing. And come to find out that Francis Scott Key wrote the national anthem for the United States in 1814. And we said, oh my God, you know, that we thought was really neat because of what we had said. And we said, well, we should put it on the album. You know, 1814, since it has some type of significance.
Yeah.
And then after that, we found out that the 18th letter in the alphabet is R, and the 14th letter is N. So, I mean, we were going crazy. We said, oh my God, how can this be? And we thought that was such a coincidence that we really felt the need to put it on the album, and that's why we did.
Black Cat Talk. That song, I'm sure there are a lot of fans out there who, if you wrote that song and those are your instincts, they probably want more of your instincts next time around.
Yeah.
How did that song come about, and do your instincts lead toward more of a harder edge like that song?
They go all kinds of ways, because I've written all types of music. I've written jazz pieces, you know, just fooling around at home, even when I was 13 years old. I wrote my first song when I was 9. And so I guess I love all types of music. A lot of people have told me that they love that change up in the album by, you know, Black Cat, and they've told me that I should definitely do that on the next album. They'd love to hear that. So I'm pretty sure I will. I've like I said, I grew up with all different types of music around me. R&B, rhythm, blues, gospel. We listened to a lot of Zeppelin growing up, and I love Aerosmith and Def Leppard and Motley Crue. Those guys, they're crazy. They're great. So yeah, a lot of classical too. We wanted to do a rock song on the album, and God, we were actually finished with the entire album, and I came up with a guitar riff, and I ran over to Jimmy and Terry to tell them and said, you know, we should do this, and they were busy mixing the other stuff that we had just completed. So they said, well, God, you know, we have a deadline, so we couldn't possibly go on to another song. So I told him, I said, well, it's okay. I said, you know, I'll do it. And I said, just throw me in the studio and I'll, you know, put everything together. And so I did, along with Jelly Bean. And I wrote the riff and the lyrics and actually the whole thing. And that was basically it. And the guys played on it. And
you co-produced?
Yeah, I co-produced it with Jelly Bean. And just sitting in front of a television, actually, I think I was watching CNN or something, and it came to me. So that's how that came about. I guess I'd just like to say that to thank everyone for their support and their love throughout the years, and I can't wait to perform for you guys again, and I hope you enjoy it just as much or even more than you did the time before. So be seeing you soon.
I got a packet of your press clippings. Do you read your press clippings, either concert show reviews or album reviews or profiles? Or anything?
Not really. Sometimes I do. Not really. Yeah, sometimes I do. Not all the time, no.
Okay. Another question for you. There's a move, I guess, in New Jersey and New York and now in California to regulate the use of music in live shows, background music and stuff. Any comment, any thoughts on that?
If that's what they want to do, I think it's cool. Oh, I know what you're talking about, yeah, and how they want to put if it's live or lip sync or something. On the tickets, yeah, I think they should.
You don't think that's censorship or anything?
No, I feel if they want to do that, and if the public agrees with that, then they should go ahead and do it. I really do.
What about, any thoughts on the whole Two Live Crew controversy, things like that?
You know, It's so hard. It really is. I feel that, you know, a lot of people have been saying it's censorship is un-American, and I feel that it is. I really do. If they don't want their, I feel that they should have more control over their kids listening to certain things. If they don't want them to hear it, their kids shouldn't be out there buying it, or they should know what their kids are buying. And I feel that it should be there for those who enjoy it, and for those who don't want to listen, they don't have to buy it. I don't think they should try to. I think it's ridiculous what's going on. It really is. It's crazy.
Talk a little bit more about your early musical influences. We got into that a little bit, but can you be a little more, some of the artists that you really cut your teeth on?
Marvin Gaye influenced me a great deal. He just got his star yesterday, as a matter of fact, on
The Rock Walk or in the Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame, Hollywood, the Walk of Fame. And Stevie Wonder, Nancy Wilson. God, there were a lot. Listened to the Beatles a lot growing up. My sister was into Frank Sinatra and Bach and Beethoven, so we listened to a lot of that. And my mother was into Bobby Blue Bland and B.B. King and Brooke Benton. So I listened to a lot of blues. It's all types, yeah. And then when the Bee Gees came back, that was around our house a lot. Yeah.
Which Bee Gees? The late 70s Bee Gees?
Yeah, yeah. How Deep Is Your Love? That's the song that I think I was 10 years old when I first heard that in New York. I was visiting my brother. I was shooting Good Times, and I went to New York to visit my brother. He was doing The Wiz, the film The Wiz. And he played it for me. He says, "Tell me what you think about this song." I said, "It's beautiful." I loved it, yeah.
What about today? When you go home, what are some of the CDs that you'll pop in these days?
New age music and jazz.
Really?
Yeah, I really, really enjoy it. Michael Franks, Earl Klugh, Bob James, John Clemmer, Hatley Hawkins Smith, his album Heart Song. Oh, God. It's a great album.